Well, I hope my internet doesn't continue to explode. But hello. Always hoping, always praying. Oh, I think my microphone's picking up some of my fan. Hold up. Hopefully that's better. But yes, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be. Again, I hope my internet doesn't poop out. But I'm exhausted and I'm like sensory overload from work today. So I decided that I was just going to have a simple chatting day today. Let's go. Oh, is that working? Always checking to make sure things are working, like, so late. Gibby. Gibby don't work. Gibby, why? Gibby! Okay. Hello! But, good to see everyone. Hopefully your day is treating you well today. Like I said, I'm just exhausted, and I had a long day, and I just wanted to take today easy and simple, and just like chat about like current events, you know, catch up with things. I don't really get to do much these days, so you know, I want to hear what's going on. But hello, Raymond, Wakey, Damascus, Eki, Celestia, it is great to see everyone. But yeah, oh my god, today at work was, like, in general, it would be like a normal day of work, which in itself probably shouldn't be too bad, but as I said before, they're like completely redoing the, alarm systems in my store where I work, so, like, the fire exits and alarm systems in the back and stuff are all being tested and refitted. So like all of my day-to-day was just like, I don't know, consistent alarms for like 3 hours and it was so tiring. Even when I went, like, for my walk after I got home from work, I normally, you know, you'd put on, like, music, or you, like, maybe put on a podcast while you walk, you know. I didn't. I just had complete silence as I walked down a trail path because I was, like, so tired of noise. So, my brain's a little sensory overloaded, so I wanted a relaxing day today. But, on the plus side, that does mean hopefully we are about to be done. I don't know how much else we have to do. All I know is I think after like the system is set to okay, which should be done probably by tomorrow. I think they did most of the tests. I just have to basically start unloading where we've been keeping all of our product into the new fridges, and then like my job will completely return back to normal, and I was so excited because it's been 6-7 months of them redoing it, and I'm so tired. I'm tired of it. I'm ready for it to be over. And I mean, last time, even like I said, that they, like, as soon as we were like nearing the end of stuff being done, they were like, we don't need as many people working in the store anymore. We're almost done. We can start cutting back. So, like, half of our store is just trashed and ugly, and it's awful. And you know what? I'm not getting paid to fix it, so I just look at it and I go, it ain't my job. But nonetheless, I hope everybody else's work days have been going well. I know, as we approach the, this is like 4th quarter, right, in the year, everything's gonna start picking up for the holidays. So I can only imagine for some people how bad it might be. But yeah, I was half tempted today, since I wanted something simple and like to do something simple and like not so noisy, right? I was half tempted to pick up one of those hidden object games, like hide and seek games. I didn't realize those games are like kind of expensive for I don't know if it's like a deal for what they are, because when I was looking through Steam, I still have them up. They're like $13 to like $20 for some of these, and I was like, you know what? I would have picked one up if it was like on 5 or under, but these are crazy. Also, the sheer amount of hidden object games that exist is also insane. But I'm still tempted to pick one up. I feel like they might be funny. I don't know. I feel like it might be a simple way to watch me struggle with puzzles. And also let you guys like I feel like this is a game that doesn't matter, and I could absolutely let backseating happen, and then people be like, oh, I see the key, and I'll be like, where? You know? But man, $14 for like their bases, like, is like the base for their games, right? It's kind of crazy. Gotta get those object whales. Is it that big of like a series? Because like the page of these people, like this one brand has 112. Oh wait, no, 97 hidden object games. I forget they put it. They have a couple of other extra games, but like 100 hidden object games, and the rest are normal games. That's just from one brand. Stopped by Sam's Club yesterday after my birthday breakfast. Halloween already basically over. It's Christmas now. Yes, Raymond, I hate that too. We stopped getting Halloween, like, we always, grocery stores and stuff get Halloween or any sort of, like, holiday items months in advance, right? So, we, by, like, October 1st, stopped getting Halloween candy in, like, in huge bulks, and would just get, like, 10 boxes in or whatever. And we're already putting out like last call for Halloween candy. Like it's all out. It's all out on the sales shelves, and we already have like 4 aisles being changed into Christmas. We got like 6 pallets of Christmas trees already in, and I'm just It's the schizo stream again? Yes. But the question is, are you still hearing all the voices? Because I mean, I always hear the voices, so I don't know. Are you cured after I have beaten the game? Assassin's Creed Shadows getting ported to the Switch too. I am not surprised. I feel like a lot of games are going to be ported over to the Switch too, because what's the equivalent? It's like a Switch or a PS4 Pro kind of power. I expect a lot of games to be ported over to the Switch 2 as time goes on. I still, like, I was initially stuck on the FOMO of the Switch 2, and I really wanted to jump in on it, because I'm a giant dork. I love, like, Pokemon and stuff. I like Fire Emblem, and I'm sitting here and I'm like, I want to play those games, but man, I don't know. Every corner I turn when it comes to anything Nintendo or Switch 2 related, it's always just, it completely just kills any vibes of me having a want. And then I see like, oh, it's a cute Pokemon. I'm like, oh, I want a Pokemon. And then I turn the, like, I'll go to the next like YouTube page or something, and it's like, Switch 2 crashing. Pokemon no longer able to load, deleting save file, like stuff like that happens. I'm just like, oh yeah, you know, I'll wait. I only got it because of Fire Emblem. That makes it so, like, I also want it mainly for Fire Emblem, Pokemon as well, but mainly Fire Emblem. So I'm like, oh, even if I wanted it, I can wait, and I can see how things go. Maybe I wait for the Switch 2 Pro or whatever. Because right now, the Switch 2 doesn't really seem worth it. And if I wanted something that's mobile gaming, I would probably get, like, a Steam Deck or something. Speaking of, how do you think that the Microsoft ROG Ally is gonna actually make any money. Because I wholly expect it to crash. And with that, all of the problems that the newest Windows update is causing, my computer is still yelling at me to update my Windows, and I am not touching that. I am not touching that at all. Hi, Berserker! Only till you turn the stream off. Well, that's for you. Maybe, Crumpets, but my voice does never end. Caitlin, hello! The reason people hate ZA is funny to me. They complain about balconies being only 10. Well, that's literally, that's like a standpoint of expectation on quality. Because if you were able to fully have a game, the very basis always for Pokemon, right, should be, what was it, like the Switch launch titles, right? Which, and near launches, right? It would be like, what was that? Mario Odyssey and like Breath of the Wild, right? So to have games, those detailed, spectacular, oh, Xenoblade, stuff like that. Those large and like a spectacle. And then you put it next to Pokemon, it's embarrassing, right? You would expect them to be putting in this effort for the world's largest IP. Flat out world's largest IP, and they don't. So it's basic, and they charge you more for it, right? Because the game itself, would you really care that much if it was, say, maybe a $20, $30 game with how much they spent into the game? Probably not. But because they're charging you $60, $70 now for the game, it's an insult. Because the quality that they could put in is there, and not only that, Game Freak is putting in the effort within their own game that's coming out, not backed by Nintendo, it's their own IP, own game. And it shows you the potential Game Freak can have, right? They have shown you that they want to do. So it's a problem of purposely handicapping the game for maximum profit, to which in turn becomes a giant insult to the consumer. It's been 24 years. It's been 24 hours, 34 hours, something like that. It's not worth it. I definitely should have waited. Nightmare, that's all I hear about the Switch 2. Which is why, like, I think even when the Fire Emblem comes out, I'm probably going to wait until, like, a Switch 2 Pro or something. Or even when I want to get my fix, I'll play one of the indie ones that are on Steam, right, you guys have pointed out. More likely to do something like that. My personal opinion on the Switch 2 is that it will have some third-party ports, but they won't sell well because they're a lot cheaper on the PS5 or Steam. Yeah. Most people that buy Nintendo consoles do it for Nintendo games, not third parties, and third parties are occasional bonuses. That's exactly it, Crumpets. My assumption as well for the big Switch seller is whenever the FromSoft games comes out, from FromSoft. So whatever that vampire game or whatever that they're making, that Switch 2 exclusive, my assumption is that's what's gonna start spiking up the console price, like selling and maybe even price. But the first party titles themselves are incredibly lacking. Donkey Kong looks mid. Pokemon looks like garbage. You know, Mario Kart looks like trash. Like, there has no been even first parties games that make me even want to think about playing it. The thought of Pokemon made me want to play it, but then seeing Pokemon is like, it's soul crushing, right? Because I like the style of games, and I especially like the like gameplay, the turn-based gameplay, simple RPG, but I want more. And especially when the concept of them putting it into a Legends game, I saw the potential that was behind Arceus, and I thought that was like a new beginning. Like, we were gonna get a lot more. They were gonna scale up, you know, whatever. This was like a test to see if this style works. Like, that's what I thought it might be, and then it just continues to be a disappointment, and it really sucks. Duskbloods, is that what it's called? Because I don't know. I only ever occasionally use my Switch, so I can't justify buying the 2 at all. I would also agree with that, Eki. I only ever played like 4 games on my Switch. Pokemon, Fire Emblem, Smash Brothers, because I played that with friends, of course. Do I know how to play that still? No. But my little niece loves Smash Brothers, so we do play that on occasion. And then Monster Hunter. I played Monster Hunter Generations, and that's like all that I used it for. I have all those other games on it that I have. And I didn't really play them past that. Like you know, I had like Mega Man, and I played the Mega Mans like once, and then I'm like, ah, okay. I could just play this on my computer. Yeah, but not Bloodborne 2. Bloodborne 2. Visually, DK Bonanza looks great, but also looks boring. To me, it looks boring. I won't take away, like, people enjoying it. It looks just too simple. And kind of like a false, like, here's cool tech, right? The game was already in production to be on the Switch 1 to begin with. So, it was something that probably the Switch 1 could even do. With, like, the breaking of terrain and stuff. But it like, I don't know, the concept itself doesn't sell me for, like, the gameplay and whatnot. So, to me, it looks very mid. I've heard good things about it, but to me, it looks, too, like, narrow and simple, where it doesn't feel like it could get too complex. The only complexity I've seen from Donkey Kong is the speedrunner, and the speedrunners have, like, found cool, like, movement tech and stuff. But that's, like, if you're pushing the game to the limits. I haven't seen anybody really use cool movement or whatever. It looks very simple to me. Fire Emblem and Pikmin are the only first-party games I care about. I've never played a Pikmin game. I should probably at some point. I think it'd be funny to, like, throw my Pikmin in, like, death pits. That'd probably end up something I'm doing. So funny to me how people actually talk about how they're regretting purchasing the Switch 2. Then the shills will say that people don't exist, and now the Switch 2 is getting a discount in UK. Yeah. Most of the time when I hear people talk about the Switch 2, they just say it's okay. You know? Or they regret it because they're not using it. Especially if you want to play a game that's, like, older. Like, most of the time, people want to Switch 2 just to play a better upscaled version of a game. Like, the price tag of $10 or more to play a higher upgraded game is ridiculous. Especially if it's a game I already purchased. Why do I have to pay an extra $10 on top of a $60 game I already bought, like, 7 years ago? It's so frustrating. It's just blatant milking of Nintendo fans, and it's just painful and embarrassing. Every new Pokemon game, I get more disappointed Pokemon fans for not demanding better. It's because, Nightmare, think of Pokemon like true Pokemon fans, right? Like, I would equivalent them to people who buy, like, FIFA or the basketball game or whatever, Madden, you know, a Call of Duty. Those games that people will buy on the basis of it's the game they know, it's the game that they maybe play with friends, it's the talking point in their social circle, whatever. It's like the game, right? They just buy the next one because it's the next one. That's what most Pokemon fans are, and they're people we don't even see most of the time because they're not people who, like, will hang out online, right? It's just people who, like, oh, new Pokemon game, I'm gonna buy it. You know? I like Pokemon. It's the same with, oh, Call of Duty. I've been playing that since I was a teenager. Gonna get the new Call of Duty. That's really the main, like, demographic that buys Pokemon. So they don't know any better half the time, too, which kind of sucks. But at the same time, like, the quality has diminished pretty bad that those people are kind of starting to listen now. But it doesn't change the factor that it's still going to reach those people, and the game inevitably will always be profitable, especially with how low the cost of making the game is. Because I think people have seen by now, right? It costs like, what was it? Did Pokemon ZA? It was like 13, 14? Yeah, 13, 14 mil. Mil? Oh, that's in yen. So about 13 million, 13, 14 million USD. Like, that's pennies. They have to sell like 200,000 copies and they are starting to profit. Like, that game was made on nothing. Hi, Frederick. I saw some people made Bloodborne playable on PC with the PS4, and it was funny to see PS fanboys get insulted the game. Well, not only that, Ezekiel, when it was done, it lasted, what, like a day or two, and then it was, they were, like, forced to take it down from Sony. It's so frustrating that we have to do what these companies won't do for the things we want, and people get punished for it. It is bad. It sucks. Yeah, literal pennies on the dollar. It's just, like I said, it's insulting for the consumer. And it's insulting to someone like me who's a genuine, like, I love Pokemon. I've only been playing Pokemon for a couple of years. My first one was one of the notorious worst ones ever made, and I didn't really know better. And then as I learned more about these things, I got to play the older ones and enjoy those. I've been slowly playing the ones on my DS and my 3DS. And it just kind of makes me sad because I'll open those up. I'll flip open my 3DS. I've been playing a little bit of Ultra Sun now and then. I haven't played it in like a month, but I've been slowly playing through it. I'm like, wow, I'm having a great time. Yay! And then I, like, look at what it kind of is now. I'm like, oh. Oh, I see. Oh, I see. I see everything that was wrong, and then I look back on everything, and it just kind of sucks. And Scarlet and Violet specifically really opened the floodgates for how bad those games are. The memory leak thing still isn't fixed, right, in that game? Like, how it chugs after, like, an hour? It's so disappointing. Lazuli, if you enjoy the game, power to you. The only thing I will ever say is that if there is very obvious, genuine problems, it is always smart to acknowledge them. But if you enjoy something, you know, you can't let anybody take that joy away. Have fun, do your thing. But it's okay to acknowledge when something is detrimental to the product that you purchased. So, if you can enjoy your game, but still say, oh, you know, my game crashed, or my Pokemon despawned, or the textures look like Gmod, you know, like, you can still say that, but if you're having fun, you're having fun. I jumped the Pokemon ship after Sun and Moon, didn't even bother Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon. I bought both versions of all DS games, the digital versions of OG games. I do have the digital versions of, what is it, Yellow and Crystal on my 3DS I gotta play at some point. Because I have yet to play the OGs. But I don't feel like they would contribute much to, like, you guys enjoying them. Because there's, I don't know. Would you? Because they're so broken. The only thing I've had a thought about is if I play a Pokemon game. Like, I could even boot one up now. Like, that game is so brain dead. That I wouldn't mind trying on, like, those Nuzlocks at some point. But the problem will always be that Nintendo wants to kill you if you play a Nuzlocke. But I enjoyed my experience that I had as I played the older ones. So far, I still need to play through Gen 3 and Gen 6. That X and Y. Because we never finished Omega Ruby. But I thought I would, well, maybe have more fun if we played Emerald. We'll see. But yeah, I don't know the generation numbers. But yeah, X and Y or whatever, I haven't played either. We never finished Ruby. What's after that? I haven't played normal Sun or Moon. But I have Ultra Sun and Moon. And I haven't played Sword and Shield. I haven't played a lot of them. Lazuli, I have played Pokken Tournament on stream before. What is it, like 2 or 3 years ago? I do like the game, and I hope they maybe one day bring it back, because I do think, I do think the game was really fun, and the biggest detriment will always be the fact it was a console exclusive. That's just the end of it. I'm in Blood. X and Y is the worst 3DS game, not even close. I have heard that actually before, Crumpets. I have mainly abandoned my want of trying to catch up on Pokemon games and be exposed to Pokemon naturally, like designs and stuff. And I have, out of curiosity, listened to a lot of people talk about these Pokemon games, like all the Pokemon games. Because I am interested in, like, the mechanics that they've changed and like, gameplay, how they, like, try to innovate and stuff. Because it was really pushing a lot of creativity with the limitations that they had back then, which was really interesting. But as I got to the 3DS games, there was a lot of critique for all of the 3DS games. Most heavily, it was with X and Y, from what I would listen to for what people have said. There were decent criticisms on Ruby and Sapphire, Alpha, Omega, Ruby, Sapphire, whatever. And then it was like a kind of a toss-up with Sun and Moon. Well, not Sun and Moon. People seem to really like Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon, but not liking Sun and Moon. My first ever Pokemon game was X and Y, so that's another reason why I want to get ZA. If those Pokemon games mean something to you, like, go for it. Again, you can enjoy something. The only thing I will always say to people is, even if you enjoy it, you should still be able to acknowledge when it has flaws, right? But Pokken Tournament is a lot of fun, and I hope they make another one. It's especially funny in Pokken Tournament seeing that Pokemon have moves, because it's Pokemon Tekken, right? In its own way, that's what it's supposed to be. And it's really cool to see these Pokemon doing Tekken moves, right? Like, I forget who has what, but like Pikachu has Electric, somebody has the Mishima Hell Sweep. Some Pokemon have like Paw moves. It's really funny to me. I keep seeing, I don't hate the IP, I hate the people who have squandered its potential. I agree, Berserker. Which is why I'm even more frustrated that Nintendo and all these are going after people and like patenting, like battling creatures and capturing creatures in capsules. Because it basically means the genre, they want to only be able to make that genre, and it, not only that, even wider, because the patent is so broad, right? That will maybe never even get to have more than that ever again. And it's frustrating because creature battlers are fun. Passed away because now Nintendo is releasing the premium prices. Nintendo's integrity died a long time ago. It could have been with the passing of Iwata, but I can't say for sure. All I know, it's been a problem kind of since the beginning. I forgot what it is, but Nintendo tried to patent something specifically, even when they just started out, to isolate something. It was like for cartridges or something, but Nintendo has been trying to make a monopoly on specific parts of the gaming industry from the beginning. It's just that they've become more and more egregious as like time goes on, that they can't be ignored anymore. I think the mainline Pokemon games I played was Emerald on an emulator. You mean a developer copy because your uncle works for Nintendo. X and Y not aged well compared to Ultra Buzz, Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon, and Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire. From what I heard, hi Beans! That's basically what I've heard. Because not only that, I remember I can like go on Amazon right now and buy like a brand new sealed copy Are they still available? Hold on. They might have finally emptied their coffers. No, I can still go on Amazon and buy a copy of Pokemon X and Y for my 3DS. And it looks like all of them for average price of a 3DS game. But yeah, X and Y is the cheapest. I feel like Pokémon is meant to be what Pokemon battles look like in verse. I mean, that could potentially be like a really good way to see it. I think it's one of those spin-offs that definitely had potential, but the pure purpose of isolating it was not going to sell it, which is the rough part. I think they were hoping like maybe Smash players or something to go to it because it was a Wii U Switch game, right? And those are exclusive fighting game. But it just ended up not being it. It died really fast. Dropping out. I'm genuinely worried about Xbox dropping out and having it come down to Nintendo and Sony butting heads. It's not even Eki. The best way to see it is actually Nintendo and Sony aren't even butting heads, and not even Xbox anymore. Each of them have capital in specific parts of the gaming sphere. But Nintendo will always be Nintendo and will always do its own thing. And it's probably not even part of what you would call like the console wars. And hasn't been for a while. Xbox has basically dropped out. They're having exclusives be put on PlayStation. So they're not exclusive anymore. They're done. And not only that, they're kind of giving up on their own. Like, Microsoft in general is kind of giving up on their own brand. I don't know if anybody else, like, has noticed this downward trend, but, like, Windows 11 dumping itself, forcing AI into your computer, having to go around to try to get rid of it. It's terrible, terrible functionality. It's raising of prices. Like, I actually genuinely was thinking about at some point getting an Xbox, whatever the newest Xbox is, without the disk drive, because it was cheap, it had every modern game, and I could easily use it to function like my fighting game tournaments and stuff. And the raising of the prices just completely nullified all of that. It's now a console that's worth completely nothing. What you get on it is not equivalent to the price you pay. And then, like, the raising of their pass, the random ROG that's $1,000. Like, who wants that? Go buy a Steam Deck. Like, I think for the disc drive, yeah, it's like an incredibly ridiculous price. It's such a ridiculous price that basic retail stores are completely cutting off Xbox being carried in store. I heard Target's doing it. I think Walmart's doing it, and other extended parties are starting to completely not carry like Xbox products at all. Like, Xbox is dead. And there's not much you can do about it. They did it to themselves, really. Coming soon, Nintendo patents the ability for mascot characters to drive cars. I would not be surprised, Nightmare, with how much they are being embarrassed by Sonic Crossworld. Didn't think they'd become more egregious. I think they're the same in the regard. They're just now able to get away with it. Crumpets, I agree with you there. I think Microsoft has always been poopy duke. But, again, it's just like Nintendo. It's just like everyone else. They have their own corner that they have a capital on. A monopoly on. And they're going to abuse what they have. Full stop. No, I read that one. No, I stole it from a site exclusively because I was broke. Berserker, I commend you for being real with that. But I mean, also, like, the refusal for reproductions also is ridiculous. They're trying to make it so, like, these older games just don't exist anymore. They keep making new games and slowly putting in Pokemon from the older games so that you buy the new one and then the next one, and the next one. So, like, that console lifespan You have all the Pokemon now, and then they're gonna release the next upgrade, and the next upgrade, and the next upgrade, and they're slowly gonna keep just doing this cycle because it makes money. Because you're not able to finish any of your Pokedexes without buying the last 4 games, and then the next cycle's gonna come out, and you can't buy any of those for the next 4 games. Like, that's just the cycle we're in now. We're never gonna have these, like, classic things ever anymore. My friend played ZA without a Switch 2, and he said it was fun for the first 2-3 hours, and he wanted his time back because it got repetitive. Sounds like Pokemon. Like I said, I thought there was going to be so much more hope with it being a Legends game because, like I said, Legends Arceus had so many flaws, but it felt experimental, it felt like it was going in a new direction, and they were just told no. Because at this point with Game Freak, I'm assuming it's purely from the control of Nintendo that they're not making choices, because we see now the potential they can do with the new games coming out. What Nintendo is doing is an actual legal term called patent trolling, and it predates the internet term. Wow, it predates? My God. They're like a boogeyman or a skeleton that always comes from its grave and it's like pulling everything down with it. It's so frustrating. Remember when Nintendo tried to sue Blockbuster for scanning their manuals? Yes, that was another one. Like, Nintendo in general has always been awful. Yeah, Nintendo and Sony moved on way long ago. Funny enough, PlayStation is for every man. Xbox was. The budget casual console, and Nintendo was the Nintendo guys. They're not competing with each other. Exactly. Like, it's crazy how much Microsoft fumbled Xbox since the Xbox One, right? Man, just their naming ruined everything. I don't even remember his Xbox Series S, Xbox One, Xbox X. I don't know. I don't know which one's which, right? Like, they fumbled it so bad after the 360. It's crazy. I'm so happy I built a PC, especially because I was planning to get the Series X, but they raised the price and then Game Pass. Such a shame where Microsoft took the brand. Also, Windows 11 sucks. Windows 11 does suck. And yeah, like, at this point, like, even Sony has seen the market that is possible on PC. And not only just Sony, but all of what what used to be like first-party games that used to be on, like Final Fantasy, right? Now they just have like 6 months exclusive deals, and then they put it on the PC because they want to get the people that are FOMO on release to buy their console, and then they want the huge market that is PC, right? They're literally just like, please buy console. Here's cool game. Wait 6 months. Capitalize on the larger audience of PC. Welcome back with your coffee, Raymond. Oh, hi, Panda. Did I say hi? Personally, I got burned so bad on 360, Microsoft crashing and burning makes me happy. A lot of people got burned on the PC with, like, the red ring of death and stuff. So I don't blame you there at all. But still, there was so much on the 360. And they just literally just let it go. They had the godsends that was Halo, and they let it go. They had Bungie with it, you know, and they let them go. Yes, Nintendo did single-handedly kill game rentals in Japan because, and that's what's frustrating, is Nintendo really does, like, kind of bully their community and, like, their like, stores and native, like, ecosystem that I don't even think they, like, it's crazy how big of sales is in Japan that's always just Nintendo games. It's kind of crazy. Turns out the exact battle system that ZA was on a Pokemon fan game that had 6 years of development. Then Nintendo sent them a cease and desist 2 days before it was supposed to release. Sounds like Nintendo. Which is funny, because Nintendo is, there's always, like, that rumor, right? Like, Nintendo has to have everything be theirs. That, like, something like a Pokemon fan design right? Say you wanted to make a new evolution for a Pokemon that doesn't have one, or a Mega, or a redesign, whatever. There's that rumor that if you design it and you post it, that guarantees anything similar will never be made for that Pokemon ever. Or in general. The Xbox thing has been a plan since the Xbox One. Microsoft wants to become a Netflix of video games and have for a long time. I get that vibe. 100%. I mean, everything now in the ecosystem is you don't get to own anything. And it's basically like everything's been complicit, and now everybody is like just greed, and it's basically like every single thing that's out there is like a monopoly, or there's too much of it, and everybody's, because they spread out all their products, all their IPs, whatever, across so many things, you have to pay if you want to do this, right? I'm sure everybody heard the news of the device that scans your poop that you have to pay a subscription for to use. You know, like, nothing's sacred anymore. Nothing. You will never own anything. Give me your money. The crap box is 800, right? Remember when the PS3 was 500, people called it overpriced? Yes. Here, let me see. Xbox Series X. It's the one that looks like a fridge. So the one with, right, is Series X. The one with disk drive is $600. The one without disk drive is $430 based on Amazon. Which, like I said, like, these consoles are not going to sell anymore. Major retailers are just cutting Xbox from being carried in their store because they literally don't sell. So the price increase is, like, they literally just killed their console. Like, there is no coming back. Oh, that's true. If that's true, that explains every new Pokemon in Mega is so terrible looking. Exactly. Like, I saw Feraligatr, I'm like being like one of the leaks, right? Earlier, a couple months ago, before the game came out, I'm like, oh, Feraligatr, what's he gonna do? Like, get a big chompy jaw? Maybe he's gonna look more like a kaiju, because he's kind of got that kaiju vibe. No, he looks like a toilet seat. Feraligatr looks like garbage. Hold on, I don't know if people have seen it, but Feraligatr Mega. Hold on, I'll show you real quick what Feraligatr looks like. Like, what is this? Like, so many people have already redesigned it to look so cool. Why did they make him a toilet seat? Like, it makes no sense. Hold on, I'm trying to find an image with his. Oh, here we go. Somebody made it as a thumbnail, so I don't know whose video is this. This is the thumbnail for a video by Gator EX, but I'll show you based on this guy's thumbnail because he just put it on the thumbnail for us. But here, full screen the image. Like, look how stupid this is. Like, this is what? What? He just lifts it up. It's a toilet seat. He puts his arm together. It's a toilet seat. By the way, how is his arms reaching that far? That doesn't look physically possible. He's a toilet. He's a toilet. I don't get it. This is Mega Feraligatr. And it makes me mad because immediately people already made it better. People already made it better. Like this person made it better. This person made it better. Who is this? Two-Face. Thank you, Two-Face. And whoever made this, all credit to all these people, but like, we got this. We got this guy. It looks so bad. It makes me upset how bad it looks. I gotta minimize now. Where's my chat? The prices increased do just seem like a smash and grab before the Eki, that's basically how I read it. You get the people who are saving up or who expect to discontinue because it's a classic thing with consoles, right? They either go up or down in price when they're discontinued. So it's more than likely just a sell it while we can, get some more dough before it's dead. I predicted in a few years the Xbox will be sold at 200 or less, just a free. I agree, Crumpets. I've actually seen posts of like, I'm not sure if it was a US Costco. I think it was like a Canadian Costco. Had like a full pallet, not selling, of like Xbox Series S? The one, or X, the one without a disc drive, right? It had a full pallet of these consoles for like $180 and people were still not buying them. It's crazy. He's a big total dial. He is a big total dial. I understand the idea that they were doing with it, right? I understand. But it looks stupid. Just like how the Fire Lion, right, has a mega that like their main makes the kanji for fire. I understand the thought process. The execution, though, looks like trash. You want to rank all the new megas? Sure, I'll do that. Pokemon ZA tier list. Here we go. I'm gonna move my chats over to the right side. Have you considered Starmie Stretch? Yes. That thing is awful, but it's funny. It should not have been a legitimate design. I remember it got leaked before the game came out, and I thought people were straight up memeing. Everybody thought it was straight up a meme, and it was real. It's probably the thing I am most bamboozled by it being real. Like, not, like, just awful. Alright, but let me, here. Let me, zoom in here. Oh, don't even get me started on the already paid DLC. Don't even get me started on that. Paid DLC with the rest of the megas and endgame content. Don't even get me started on that. Yeah, it's so bad it came around to being hilarious. Ain't a Pokemon rant stream. No, it's okay, Crumpets. Anything to keep conversation going is completely fine. I don't care. But like, here, I don't even know what Pokemon this is. Is that Clefairy? Clefable? I don't know. That one's pretty good. I don't know. It's technically a D, but I want to put it in S because it's stupid. It's B. This is a D. This is a D. Skarmory got them boots on, boy. He got them Jordans. What the heck is... What the heck? I don't know. That one's okay. D. I like Scrafty and Scraggy too. What is this? It's stupid looking. This is okay. I like the Chandelure. I like Chespin Line a lot. I like this one quite a bit. This one's like an A. This one's like an A. This one's a D. What is that? It's full baby, right? Or whatever. I don't even know what that symbol is. I don't know. What's he got? An umbrella? Put him in the D. This one looks stupid. This one looks stupid. That one's alright. No, that one's alright. S, go in the front. This is like the best one. This is stupid. I don't even know what Pokemon that is. I'm gonna put it in B. They just have a new formation. We're gonna put it in B. Alright, there you go. For Clefable and Frostlass. Oh. I can see the Frostlass. That doesn't look like who... I don't know. Hi, Hatred! There you go. As a person who's not a #1 Pokemon knower, who knows all of these Pokemon, this is my tier list. I decided I don't like the Fox as much as I thought. I put it down 1. They did give him the starfish legs. Isn't it hilarious? Also, I'm gonna put these in order. There you go. I agree, but I put the giant sack on its own tier below alongside Excadrill. I mean, see, this is here because it's funny, right? If I were to do this, okay, I will do this tier list on legitimacy, right? Not because of any funnies. Then this would be down here, and then this would be here, right? Okay, that's more applicable. This is only up here because it's stupid. It's so stupid it comes back around to being funny. This one's kind of funny. He's trying to kill himself, right, with his own vines. Kind of funny. But it literally, though, it's like that. It's like down here. You know? These Vegas just suck. They look like garbage. The only two that are, or the three that are really, really cool are these three. And I do like the idea of them, like, embracing their stereotype of RPG classes, right? He's the knight, he's the thief ninja, and they're the mage or whatever. I like Chestnut. I think he's really cool. I still think his normal form looks 10 times better. Greninja's okay. How is he doing that? I don't know. And then the Fox is, like, mid. Yeah, that's my mega tier list. There you go. You're welcome. Here, I'll go back over here. Oh, I didn't have music on. Whoops. Alright, now I can put my chat back in front of me. But yeah, Excadrill looks stupid, which also sucks because I like Excadrill a lot. I play a decent amount of Pokemon Go because I'm out of the house a lot. So I play a decent amount of Pokemon Go. And I have to use Excadrill a lot because you use him in Gigantamax battles. Because he's like one of the better ones if you don't have like legendaries. And I come to really like Excadrill. But I don't like that. I don't like that mega. The two Raichus are so bad. So bad. Why didn't they lean in on all these being like Z, right? Why are they all still X? Why? I don't... Stupid! Can't sleep as usual by swinging by and wishing all the infinite health, luck, and vigor. Hatred, thank you! And I hope the best for you as well. Please try to get some rest. I know you're on the other side of the world and battling sleep, so... do what you can. I believe in you. Think it was brave choice of Game Freak to give Electros... Yes. I think it's, again, could be better. Decent idea. Terrible execution. Terrible execution. Again, that's why I put the Phalanx Voltron up in there. Because I like that idea. I kind of want to bring down the Dragonite one tier. Because I don't like it. I've seen it in a vid recently. I think Zygarde's complete form is just 100% form, more green, and the weird hexagonal long cannon goofily attached. It looks like it. It looks like it's just his normal, like, Gundam form, and then they put a weird vape on his forehead, and, I don't know, trying to be hip with the kids? A Pyroar is 100% amazing idea, awful execution. There's 10 times better way they could have done that, and they did not. Excadrill loses his hands! I feel so bad for my little mole boy. His hands are gone! Skarmory is hilarious. Skarmory is putting on damn sneakers. He is ready to go, I don't know. He's ready to play ball. I don't know. But he's so funny looking. He's got big old feet. He's got damn Sora clown shoes. Oh, whoops. I accidentally just closed my chat. Good thing I have 800 more. I'm a couple minutes behind, but a lesser tuber would have drawn out the tier list, but into a whole stream. I'm truly a real one. Dude, I got through, hold on, I could probably pull up the tier list that I was doing for Pokemon tier list for all the Pokemon, and I think it might still have my stuff that I've done. Yes, it does. It does still have all the ones I've done. It does indeed have all the ones I've done. Look. And I remember I speedran these in the middle of other chatting. Here. Like I got through, what did I get through? Gen 4? What am I at? This is Gen 5, right? There's just so many. Did they put in the new ones? No, this goes up to whatever Scarlet and Violet is. Oh, there's still so much to do, man. Like, just monkeys. Monkeys. I don't know. C, I don't know. Put this one in C, I don't know. I'm getting a couple of them done. Pidub's okay. It's stupid. Actually, I like that they have the different male and female. It's okay. A horse is okay. I don't like the horse very much. He's like a bee. Rock dumb. I like this rock though. Put the rock up there. A bat. I don't really care for the bat. Bat look kind of silly. I like this one a bit more though. Woo! Put him up there. We got the extra. Put him up there. Was he better than? He's better than. I don't know, bird. Alright, what else we got? We got this guy. I don't know. You like a fairy thing? Put that thing down there. What is that? I don't know. Another fairy thing. Put that there. I don't like this. Why he got veins on his head? Why he look like human? Put him in the garbage. We got a tadpole. Put him in the garbage. We got a dude with hands. Put him in the garbage. Squidward tentacles looking at. Put him in the garbage. We got corn. He looks like a thing of corn. Garbage. Put this thing in the garbage. We're gonna grab this little thing. I don't know what it is. It's kind of cute though. Put it up there. I like the bug. Bug will appear somewhere. He's not as good as the rest of the bug, but then this bug pretty cool. Put him up in the A. He's gonna be better than the cherry. What we got? We got this. I like Whimsicott. Whimsicott pretty cute. Put him up there. I don't know what this one is. This one's pretty cute. Why does that one have like? Oh, is that the Hisui one? Right? Is that the Hisui? No, is that actually like a new form? Is it Mega? Or is that the? I don't remember. I don't like it. Put it down there. I like the fish though. Ah! Give me the fish. Where did I put the fish? Put the fish up there. Dude, the gator with the glasses. He's pretty cool. I like the gator with the glasses. I'm only gonna do what I have of Gen 5, and then I'm gonna stop. He's pretty cool. I'm gonna put him like down here. And then I like this one. He big angry. He gonna take my lunch money. Put him up here in the S tier. He's a bit cooler than the dragon. Stupid. This little cactus. He's pretty cute. Put him up here. I like the little crab. Little crab pretty cute. Little crab pretty cute. I like little crab guy. Squab! Yes! Lizard! Where did I put the other one? I don't know. There's so many! I'm sorry, I've been speedrunning this. What did I miss? Excadrill did look better in its sprites. Most of these Pokemon look better in their sprites. I will die on this hill. The best aspect of ZA are the benches have I know! The anti-homeless benches are crazy! Pyro is supposed to vaguely combine both male and female Pyro hair, so they only needed to make one Mega. I can see that as well, Nami, but it doesn't mean it's executed well. Some people at if Salamence is an SS tier, I'm riding. Where's Salamence? He's A tier, right? Where's the dragon? No, he's S tier. Salamence is up here, S tier. Don't worry about it. We're going. This one's stupid. This one's pretty rad. It's a coffee. That one like is dead children, right? Total's okay. Total could go above the cat. I love the raptors. Bring the raptor up here. Bring him up here. And then give me the other guy. Look how sick this dude is. We're going up here in the A. He's gonna be better than, He's gonna be better than, I don't know, this guy. Garbage? I like the garbage. I don't care what people say. Garbage funny. He's straight trash. So he's funny. I don't care for this though. Dynamax is stupid. We love the little fox guy. I like the little one more than the big one. I don't need- dude, there's so many, I don't even know where I put the last one. He's gonna go there. He's okay. I'm gonna put him over here. He was in the ZA. I don't know. He's gonna go over there. Rat! Rat's going in there. Super rat! Rat's going in there. Don't even at me. It's an orb. It's an orb. And then it's a super orb. Bird. I actually don't mind the ice cream. I don't mind the ice cream. I'm one of those guys. I don't mind them. They're alright. They're alright. Deer. I have to do all of them! They're all the same, but color swapped. Well, I guess when they evolve, they're different. I like the spring one. Right, this is spring. Orange is one of the best colors ever. Obviously, you gotta put it up here. You know, no bias at all. There are so many, I don't know where I'm, like, putting these Pokemon. I'm just like, live somewhere. There's so many Pokemon. There's too many ones. Eki, there are so many. I'm lost in the sauce. This thing's stupid looking. This thing's pretty rad. What's this one? Mushroom. Bug pretty cute. Am I done with Gen 5 yet? No, I'm not. Bug pretty cute. Bug go up here. This stupid pinecone. Stupid. The gears are stupid. Little guy is okay, but he's also like okay. But then we got the cool guy, and then he goes up there, and then Allium. Allium's okay. I love Litwick. Where are we going? He's gonna be an S tier. He's gonna be better than a Houndoom. We gotta grab this one. He's not. The middle is a little rough, not as good, but we still like him. And then Chandelure, S tier. Gotta bring him up here. Go all the way up, S tier. Better than that dragon. There you go. Reshiram and Zekrom are the legends. Okay, how far am I from that? Oh my gosh, there's so many. All right, I actually XU is pretty cute. He's okay. He can go down right here. I forget his name, but he's a cool dragon. He goes up there. Kamchu, it's a bear! Bears go all the way up at the top. As you know, bears are pretty cool. I like me some bears. It's tier list day X's. I'm just speedrunning Gen 5. Every now and then, we randomly bring up, like, Pokemon and what we think of them. And I have been, like, over a year slowly doing a Pokemon tier list. This is, like, over the span of the year. I'm just gonna do Gen 5. And then I'm moving on. There's just so many. There's just so many Pokemon. Who is this? Oh, I like him. I like the little ghost golem. I like them. He's gonna go in there. He's okay. I'll go like here. Bisharp's pretty cool. He'll go over here. Oh my god, there's so many. There's a cow. Bird! I don't mind the bird. I do like the original more than the Hisui one. I'm gonna put that one up there. Oh my goodness, there's so much scrolling! I'm not done. Diaper bird goes in the trash. Diaper bird goes straight trash. He's alright, he's kinda cool. Ant. Oh, I love this little guy. He's like, he'll go up here. I don't like his evolutions as much. but I like the little guy. Oh my god, I keep having Haxorus. Went to check on the official online Digimon. It's like there are 1,264 Digimon. So they're about neck and neck in how many are actually existing, right? Did Pokemon with ZA coming out like catch up with how many Pokemon there are? Oh, the legendaries. I don't like these guys very much. The only thing I ever remember is this one's like Verizon. Like the phone. I do not like the genie, like, what do they call, land forms or whatever, alternate forms? Like this one, like a bird is a bird, I don't care for them. The normal genie forms are a lot better. Like, I don't know, what is this one even? I don't know. Oh, we're almost at the end. There's only a couple more. Okay. Okay, he's like a bee. Land form, he's alright. Peak. This one's like a A somewhere. But Zekrom, right? That's this one, the black one. I like him a lot more than the white one. And then Kirim, I don't know. Croquette, he's going up there. And then this was like their merged forms. I don't like these at all, really. They're not that cool, but there's definitely worse Pokemon. So I'm gonna put them somewhere. Deer. I like him when he's not like the horn form. The horn form's like, alright. I don't like this Pokemon very much. I wish the Miku one was real. Genesec's pretty cool. Genesec goes up here though. There you go. Alright. Gen 5's done. I'm done. Gen 5's done for now. But Chespin? Hold on. Chespin? 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 Oh, okay. I like Chespin a lot. He's so cute. Okay, Gen 5's done. I could relax now. Back to our regular chatting schedule. We can wait another 4 months and then I'll get to Gen 6. The dragons for Black and White are so majestic. I like them quite a bit. I will agree with that. A lot of Pokemon that I've come to terms with Gen 5 is hit or miss, right? Hi, Tyler, by the way. I didn't realize you were here. Hi, Tyler. But, yeah, Gen 5 has, like, a lot of, like, peak, really cool Pokemon. Some of them are really bad, like the monkeys. He's just a little guy. He's just a little guy. Think I should add more O's in Let's Go than one. No. Let's Goo is pretty funny. Bye, Celestia. Well, what else is happening in the gamer sphere? Oh, did you guys see that the Valve tanked the CS:GO market? They, like, made it so you can earn better skins or something now? Yeah, hard hits or hard misses is exactly it. Yeah, so they mean, they made it so the knife skins or whatever, you can upgrade your terrible skins, so you can, like, accumulate, like, common ones and go upper rarity and then upper rarity, so it, like, tanked the super rarity ones or something. I don't know CSGO, I just know that's apparently a big deal right now. X's, I feel like they've been running out of ideas for a while. Who's CS and where is he going? You know what? Beats me. I think it's always freeform where CS is going. Most of the time, though, I think it's what? Seattle? Isn't that where, like, Valve always has their tournaments? Yeah, the rare skins are worth a lot less because they're easier to get. It degraded, like, the price of premium super rare skins, but it upped the price of more common skins. But it did drop. What did I read? It was like $1 million or something in its pricing for the high end. I mean, Nami, you can't be saying that rock and orb and slime. What else we got? whatever we want to describe jinxes are not running out of ideas. We got Magnet. Do you care about skins in the game and only watch when the drama videos play? No, I don't care at all. But it is a section of the gaming sphere, you know, so it's interesting to see the impact, but I do fully agree with Valve finally doing something about it, in my opinion, because I feel like, sure, there could be premium cosmetics, but I feel like everything should be able to be earned in game, right? I don't know. I feel like Valve's fine, even if it did make a lot of people unhappy. But that's because it's just a market for whales and whatever to buy. Never felt more proud as a human being that I don't know or don't care about any of this. I like to indulge in gaming news, so these things, headlines will reach me, but I usually don't go too deep because I also do not engage in these. I have no interest in Counter-Strike nor things like Valorant. They do not look like fun to me. Yeah, dog, human, werefish, snake, but backward. Yeah, like, it's been there for a while. I'm a big fan of Valve, but it's wrong to say that I don't care about Degen Skin Gambler's retirement fund. No, I also don't care. I don't care either. I care more about the factor that Valve, in my opinion, did something that's beneficial to the average person. So for me, it's news not of it crashing and burning and people who capitalize on this market have lost something, right? It's more of, I appreciate Valve is doing something positive for their consumer base. That's how I read it. Is there anything else, like... I don't think there's much else, like, crazy going on, right? You saw the article that said Pokemon outsold Digimon? Oh, that's the article, same person where Digimon outsold Pokemon too. It was a good read. I did not. I have never heard of that. It will. Are they messing with them? Is it a meme? Isn't Digimon doing like incredibly well? The new Digimon game, isn't it like outselling all expectations? And it's like supposed to be like a actually like super good game. Aren't most people happy about it? Storytime Strangers sale numbers. 315k units on Steam alone? Sheesh! Who knew that putting your entire savings in a skin on a video game was a bad idea? I feel like putting anything in a regular market is a whole nother gambling on a whole nother level. Was really fun. Yeah, I wouldn't mind playing the new Digimon game. I hope I don't have to play any of the previous ones. But the innovation that's coming out on like creature collector RPG games is so nice, because I feel like that is that, like with Power World and stuff, right? It's making Nintendo angry. The factor that they're trying to just destroy everything around them. But having the market open up and people seeing that there's something else out there that they could have had is also very, very satisfying. But like the concept and like the gameplay of creature collectors are so fun to me. And like me having so much of a fun time in, say, the Monster Hunter games, it's just so good. These games are so good. And it just makes me realize what I could have had. Digimon game is its own thing. I wouldn't be surprised, but it's still like a creature collector, right? The voice acting accidentally revealed that Digimon they voice acted included... Wait. Digimon they voiced, including Digimon who never appeared in the game. Therefore, DLC accidentally revealed. Oh, well, that sucks. But still, like, accidentally revealed DLC. The more insulting thing would have been if, like, a voice actor accidentally leaking isn't a big deal because they could have gone into the booth, right? Been paid for the extra lines and then sent home for something future that they're making, and it doesn't completely read immediately as cash grabbing. But then you look at Pokemon ZA, who on announcement for like release announced day one DLC that has your end game content. That is a giant middle finger. Have you played a Shimigami Tensei game? They're basically the gameplay of Digimon. I have not. I do know that some of them have been ported to PC, right? Shimigami Tensei. Yeah, they have 3 and 5 on PC. I mean, I definitely wouldn't mind. It's just, like, games have been coming out so much that I just haven't, like, I have to be pretty finicky on new games that I personally buy. So if I want this, I would probably wait for a sale. Just because of my personal money. Nintendo is 100% crashing out. Nintendo kicking and screaming because they have to compete with a market and not just sit on their mountain of diamonds. Yeah. Yeah. And the one thing that's more insulting is that we are letting them do it. By we, I mean the US patenting. And the factor that it's US only is also so stupid. Because they know that they know that we just turn things over. But Power World wasn't a US pocket pair. They're not US based, right? Are they? Yeah, they're Japanese. They're just like, you can't get one of our markets. Tweeted a list of Digimon he voiced, actually mentioned 2. Unfortunately, unused Digimon were also found in the files, which adds up to probably all the ones announced for 3 DLC packs. Fair. Again, there's more than likely DLC was being worked on, maybe some of it's finished, it could be cut content. Something to always hold accountable to the people who make it. But at the very least, like I said, they didn't purposely put it in front of you or add it in on day one so that, you know, something like that is only going to be determined if it was, like, cut content is usually once the product is released. Do you know that making DLC is hard and if it also has a timeline when it's supposed to be released? So with Pokemon, they added the DLC developed with the game was finished before release. Basically excuses them from making day one DLC surely. Oh, yes, it's a struggle. So they added within development time the DLC they have to make. Within core development time for the base game, the DLC. It's so logical. It's not stupid. It's not. Ah! Oh, it makes me insane. Again, I have no problem at all if people walk away and they enjoy what they enjoy. But please never ignore the actual faults and evil practices of the things you're giving money to. I also agree, Crumpets. It is more than likely Bandai. It is Bandai, so there's more likely something going on. I do agree. Supposedly started work on Time Stranger around when they finished Cyber Sleuth. I mean, if all of that was pure development time, there is a good chance that they did develop the DLC as they were developing the game. again, I expect that as things that are happening within games creations, and I will not defend it or anything. The only point I'm making is the blatant, purposeful disregard and insult to the consumer when they do something like Day 1 DLC. Not only that, something so egregious as the Day 1 DLC in Pokemon, where it is what would have been post-game in any other game, right? Yeah, almost 10 years is crazy. My only guess would be maybe it was like an okay, and then they develop it maybe years down the line, but that's just a guess, because games are usually made these days 2 to 3 years at most. It was a great game, but Time Stranger also had some pretty gnarly monetization. Aside from 120 Ultimate Edition, they had XP money grinding dungeons for 8 not included. Ah! Of course, of course. The one thing I have learned that's interesting about DLC and paid content like that is apparently it's not really made for us in the US. Apparently it's a culture thing that Japan really capitalizes on. For example, with like Dragon's Dogma, you know, you could pay for like those teleport crystals or whatever. Apparently that kind of thing is not made for directly for us. Like, we might as well push it out because we already made it a thing. But apparently, culturally, it's a pretty accepted practice and even indulged in practice in Japan. And I find that crazy. Like, they don't really push back or even care at all. They indulge. Which is why I think, like, you know, things like gacha and stuff pop off over there. It's like, yeah, dude, we know what you're doing. Oh, 100%. 100%. Absolutely, good games are gated. 100% gated by greedy companies at this point. Which a AAA title or a published under a AAA developer, whatever, or a publisher can create good things, but it's inevitable that they're gonna try to get more than, you know, what we were bargaining for. Yeah, they monetize. Yeah, exactly, Crumpets. I'll see if I can find the article of which I read that about. But it was very interesting how their culture functions like that, and how they will just be like, oh, it's $5, right? Whatever. That's like a cheeseburger. Might as well. You know, that kind of like sentimentality seems to be a thing. I played the Steam version my brother got after he finally played it. I saw he bought the $8 dungeon. I mean, that's the thing that how they get you though, Nami. There's more than likely going to be a point, especially in an RPG. They did it, it's pretty prominent in like Fire Emblem DLC, right? Because I totally played my copy where I could still get DLC. Where they have like maps or dungeons that are for XP grind, but it's extended. It usually comes out like a month after or whatever, or sometimes on release, and they do it on purpose. And not only that, usually within the games, especially these RPG games, they make it so the game's areas where you expect to grind, you are significantly handicapped in the amount of currency or XP or whatever it is that you actually earn within the built-in functions of how you get it. So it is another, like Crumpet said, a monetization on saving time. We're winning through pay to win, sign of status, for it implies you have job and money. I would not be surprised, Exis, if that's also a thing. I could totally see that in Chinese games too, because you'd be surprised. If you pay attention a lot to the gacha market, I'm pretty sure most of them are Chinese or Korean, correct? For the major ones that get released, like Genshin Impact or whatever is the Chinese company and whatnot. People are buying less and less games. It was like, what, 50% of active Steam purchase 1 or 3 games a year? Yes. But that's like the frustrating part too. Is everything's becoming a live service expectation model that because people don't have the money and they play these live service games and they have to invest in these live service games, it becomes a time investment to which this game is like the game you will not let go. Like, I don't know, Fortnite, League of Legends, I don't even know, Apex Legends, Call of Duty whatever, Warzone, that's what it is. Like, Cloudy! Woo! Let's go, he got the 3 stream streak. Thank you, Cloudy. Good to see you also, hi. Marvel, yeah. There's these games where they invest so much in that because it's this endless cycle. If it's free, maybe I'll buy some skins. Now I have an investment. I have the hours, whatever. And then maybe they'll buy, like you said, 1, 2, 3 games in the year because they'll go like, oh, I want to play that one new story game or whatever. And then they move on and go back to the game they know. It's just like the cycle we're in. Yeah, mostly China, yeah. For Digimon, the money one is really nice, but the XP dungeon was done in a way that doesn't ever feel needed, and isn't the best XP on top of other mechanics and maxed out Monstance. Well, if it's done that way, then it ends up being just a convenience, possibly time-saving thing of the factor of, oh, I could maybe even do it early game or whatever, right? There will always be a reason and a, like, thing to incentivize, so I'm not assuming, like, it's immediately like, oh, I might as well just do this 4 times because instead I would have to do the other dungeon 15 times, right? It could be something else in it. Money, item drops, whatever. They always put something to still try to incentivize you. Like early grinding so you can beat the story faster, stuff like that. The new the Katamari game, did it come out today? Is it the, Once Upon a Katamari? Because it looks... October 23rd? Yeah, it came out today. I've never played a Katamari game. Oh, this one's good. I remember someone making a whole video on how the modern gaming industry isn't about to collapse, but it's actually collapsing and has been for years. Yes, Berserker. The gaming industry is collapsing, but I will say it's more heavily leaning on the AAA aspect is collapsing. Indie games are very much thriving, but it's still like indie games kind of have to have that one thing that pops off. But it's definitely more of the AAAs that are falling apart. And I feel like at some point it will absolutely be these AA or indie developers that are going to keep the gaming alive. Because not only is the AAA falling apart in quality, time, and, like, greed, they're also, as we've seen, these games are being bought and taken away and are probably going to be changed for the average consumer. Which is the main scary thing. Like we saw EA got bought, right? And there's going to be these hidden curtains that we just can't avoid anymore. Like the man behind, like, you know, the man behind the curtain is pretty front forward now and taking stuff from average consumers, and it's a bit scary to know that, like, this giant greed grip on like this genre of entertainment is just going to just die from just purely greed. I don't mind that dungeon. If you're willing to spend the buck, you deserve to be scammed. I'm right there with you. Can you elaborate a little how you felt about Senua? For me, all the things concluded so suddenly it was a bit confusing. I agree that she got to Hella's gate a little quickly. I feel like maybe a little bit more space between fighting Fenrir into the end would have been nice. But basically, for what it was after getting to Fenrir, she understood that, like, Fenrir was a figurative being for her defeating and starting to overcome the darkness inside her, because the Fenrir chasing you through those halls and stuff and having to do the puzzles were a literal way to express the evil and illness within her was pushed and perpetrated by the monster, which the monster was a figure for her father, more than likely. So it was a forward adventure exploring her mental illness and her trauma as she moved forward. And then through it, she finally got to the point where she was starting to overcome it and see the darkness was something she could fight back on. And when she got to Hela, it was a specific example of Hela made her fight and prove herself that she could do it herself and move on from the darkness and even the loss that was her loved one, because her loved one was the person that she saw as the guiding light through her illness, and she lost that, which made her fall deeper and deeper. But her quest was about growth and overcoming these, in her world, literal darkness. And in the end, the very end was her letting go and her moving forward. And as I don't know if the ending was specifically telling you that, oh, we're gonna make a Senua 2, but I don't know if that was, like, determined when it was done. But for me, the way that she expressed herself at the end of the game was she is ready to move on and she has new adventures and new life to go on to. That's how I understood Senua. Hi, Jared. Katamari is such a good game as a kid on PS2. I have a way to play it at some point. I don't know if I'm 100% am down to play it, though. But any point, I definitely could. There's a lot of PS2 games I want to play, though, like classics, that I need to get around to doing. I think we had a Namco demo disc, which had We Heart Katamari demo on it. That's kind of cool. I do miss when games had demos of other games on them. It was always neat. When the retro game store that I go to opened up a couple years ago, before they really started popping off, in, like, their loose disc section, they always had, like, old PC demo discs, and I would always try to buy, like, 1 or 2 when I went in. So I have a handful. I have, like, 10 of them or so, that at some point I definitely want to go through. I've seen the numbers and I can guarantee undies aren't thriving, only if select few most fail and we just don't see them, but as soon as the AAA games die, they're gonna sell better. I agree, Crumpets. That's kind of what I see too, is the indie game is thriving on the factor of the ones that win, right? And are able to manipulate, in my opinion, the way that the ecosystem of the gaming industry is. I don't think they're truly winning, but yes, they are definitely making people see the other side and pulling away from the AAA specifically. I agree. AAA games are sustained mostly off of loyalty from the fan base, have those titles that will predictably wear out. It already has for a lot of games. I expect a lot of games from EA to start crashing even more so. Ubisoft, obviously, people know, have been in the gutter for a long time. Nobody they even did the thing with, like, Rainbow Six, slapped some changes on it, like some new lighting, and they said it's a new game. Raymond's dead. Assassin's Creed is garbage. Like, Ubisoft, they're gonna just be gone soon. There's a lot of companies that are just falling apart. I assume that Microsoft is at the point where they're probably gonna give up soon on games, specifically, like, part of, like, the war we know of. What else is falling apart? Oh, Warner Brothers is currently up for sale. I don't know if you saw, but Warner Brothers said they're open for negotiations for anybody who wants to, negotiate a cost with them. So, as a lot of people predicted, Warner Brothers is gonna be put up there for sale, which means their gamings are going to change a lot. So for those who don't know, that's like Lord of the Rings games, that's Mortal Kombat games, Harry Potter games. Yes, again, for sale. Hold on. Let me go check on the puppy real quick. I left him in my room, but he's making noise. Are you good? Oh. Sorry, I was like, what is that noise? He ripped the tag off of my comforter, so that's fun. He jumped up on my bed and ripped the tag off my comforter. What a dog. Sucks, watch a lot of fun IP slowly lose the originality it once had. It's because as soon as something pops off, they milk it and milk it until it dies, Mossy. You may not think it, but it actually, something like Ubisoft, it started with that. It was Rayman that that threw them skyrocketing. And then, you know, Assassin's Creed, and then they were like, don't let them die. And then Rayman died, and now Assassin's Creed's dead. They milk it and milk it and milk it. It's sort of like the arcade disc with the Xbox 360. I love Boom Boom Rocket, Feeding Frenzy. Raddest thing ever was Viva Pinata demo. I still need to pick me up a copy of Viva Pinata. I'll see it every time I go. I'll try to put more of an effort to find more demo discs. Because I know one of mine are really cool. Let me see. I do not know which bin it's in. I have so many games now. I'll have to find it next time. I can't. I don't know what bin it's in. I have so many bins. If there's one thing that's always fun about retro game stores is when you find something for good price. And they usually have like loose discs and stuff at my place for what it's like $3 for $1 or something. Always fun. They also always have like a once a month sale where things like just don't sell or they have too many copies or something. Like, dude, they have so many copies of like Elder Scrolls Online, Destiny and stuff, right? That they just put all the bulk out. It's so funny. But yeah, they have these like once a month they'll have like these sales where it's you know, from this pile or this side of the store, it's you know, inbox, loose, whatever it is, it's like $5 for 5 things or whatever. I get a lot of stuff from there all the time. They did allow Rayman to die, and they did kill Assassin's Creed over time. But it did start with Rayman. Rayman. Well, I should be happy watching these ships sink. I know they're just becoming part of a bigger and uglier blob. Yes, they are becoming into like the blob, and at some point they are going to cannibalize some part of this industry and destroy it somehow, but we'll have to see how much we lose. Be owned by, I know, Berserker. That's how everything's going. Dude, we already are losing fighting games, and fighting games are so niche. They stole fighting games. It's so frustrating. Why? Can't wait to see these companies close, only to have new companies open and have success like these companies earlier. Only to see those new companies die in like 30 years for now. The cycle will perpetuate and it will continue. Nightmare, Saudi Arabia bought Evo not too long ago. The world's largest fighting game tournament. And they also have been making so like the largest payout esports scene is in Saudi Arabia. So something like fighting games that you make literally like no money on, they will sink so much cash to you that it's like hard to say no, right? So they're perpetually trying to make it so everything esports related is slowly being trickled into their country. And they just bought EA. Fighting games are so dead they had to revive DBFZ to stay somewhat relevant. What sucks, Crumpus, is fighting games have been popping off so much in the last couple of years. It's crazy. I don't know if they're gonna be making DBFZ like be a perpetual thing that never dies, like Xenoverse or whatever, which wouldn't be surprised as Bandai. So we'll see. But yeah, like Street Fighter is the biggest it's ever been. That's why they get exclusive TV broadcasts and tournaments and stuff in Japan and whatnot. Like Street Fighter's huge. Which is why it kind of sucks is like everything is being isolated now. It's poopy. I dreamed for years for a remake for Legacy came without constant nonsense puzzles and focus on the action. The remake was a travesty. I actually do not know anything about the remake. It wasn't a remake, right? It was a remaster. Because from what it looked like, even me looking accidentally at a walkthrough of the remake on YouTube while I was playing the actual original, it looks like they were doing everything exactly the same. They just had more convenience in on it. Like, they had, like, a map to teleport to places instead of having to walk back to the checkpoint or whatever. It looked like it was just just kept the game the same. The only thing I thought that the art style does not look good, and it's like refined 3D. I think Kane looks silly. I don't dislike DBFC is alive again. In a way, I'd rather have a game already established be polished and updated instead of making more games that have them cannibalize each other. You mean you're not a big fan of Nen Impact Crumpets? Huh, what a shame. I'm excited for the DBFC revival because the changes are a little wonky, but I'm assuming the changes are on purpose, and we'll see how it goes. But at least through the lifespan, I think Dragon Ball FighterZ is still one of the best fighting games ever made. And I think it might be more than likely too little too late, and DBFC probably is only going to still have its loyal few. And everybody's going to go back to the newest game because that is just the cycle of fighting games. And they'll see the newest thing but go back to one of the big ones because that's where the player base was originally. But you know, I'm excited for it. I love Dragon Ball. So there's going to be a new game coming that's going to be announced in January, even though Sparking Zero is practically dead. I did not know. Well, actually, no. I heard down the pipeline there is going to be a new game, but I thought in January... No. January wasn't for the new Goku. It was spring. Nah, yeah, I did not know of a new game. Hi, Matt the Beast! Yeah, Sparking Zero, I'm not surprised it fell off pretty quickly. Again, people invest in their older games, so it's hard to keep people on the newer ones, like Xenoverse, because Xenoverse is still getting updated. Well, like, there's more than 1 million fighting games that you can play, and the one that you like is Beyond Dead, but also lack of innovation, but also Melee is still a thing after how many years? That's also, I agree. I agree. To me, the one thing I don't like the most is that games inherently are becoming more aggressive and methodical gameplay is kind of gone. I would definitely be on that boat, as people have been complaining about. But yeah, if something is so good, it will never die. Which is why something like Guilty Gear Plus are still pretty thriving. It also helps that the games, as they were updated, these older games, have an easier way to get matches, are very much important. And some games just still don't have an easy way to do that. New game and anime thing. Let me Google. New Dragon Ball game. 2026. New Dragon Ball project to be announced. Oh, they made an announcement of an announcement. I see. Game to be announced in January 2026. Developers super announcement. Dokkan, I don't know. That's the gacha game. The card game. Interesting. Okay. It will be announced during the Genkida Stage Plus New Game Super Announcement Stage, January 25th, 2026. Interesting. An announcement of an announcement. Classic. Super Manga is coming back? There was only a matter of time with that one, to be honest. Fighting game generally feels like it's running out of fumes. The big ones continue to get made and continue to sell well, but they don't have much staying power, and smaller titles are dead. I can't agree, because fighting games are actually the biggest they've ever been, and they keep growing, and the big ones continue to grow, and especially with something like the release of 2XKO, which is a free entryway of a big IP, makes it so it's even easier for them to get in. And with the Japan scene, especially of Street Fighter becoming so ingrained, there's definitely no way Street Fighter's going away. I mean, just like 2 days ago, something like that, there was a new McDonald's ad that was based on Street Fighter 2 that had sprites of like Street Fighter 6 characters in it, and had commercials and cameos of live streamers in them. Vtuber and not, who stream Street Fighter 6. It is so ingrained in their common person culture now. So I don't think it's running out of fumes in terms of player base. I do think it's running out of fumes in terms of creativity. Everything's very aggressive and continues to be very samey. And the, in my opinion, skill ceiling continues to lower, which kind of sucks. Like, Guilty Gear, everybody makes a joke with Guilty Gear Strive of a Strive player half the time can play Guilty Gear, but they can't play other games, you know. It's a stereotype, but I won't lie, it's fairly true. Because those games are pretty easy to play. Fighting games have always been kind of like that. Fighting games are bigger than they've ever been in popularity and stuff. Yeah, a lot of fighting games do the same thing, just a little different. 6KO not having motion inputs is unironically one of the biggest innovations in the gaming games recently. I mean, the idea of motion inputs have been slowly declining and being taken away. For example, modern mode in Street Fighter. The only thing that I will stand by with 2XKO is it has such an easy entry point, but it has a pretty decent ceiling that's a bit worrisome. I think 2XKO will be the game for your average day dude who, like, plays League or is interested maybe in trying to fight a game, can download and play. But I don't expect people who don't have some legacy skill to, or have taken 2XKO to grow further, to get too far. Because the in-game mechanics, there's an abundance of them. And not only that, there's expected to be more, like more fuses, updates and whatever are already known, character changes, whatever. So the motion inputs takeaway does bring in new players, but I think it's just a standpoint that can only go so far even. Because 2XKO is genuinely kind of complicated in its mechanics. I used to make the same joke about Valorant players. That was one of my core complaints when I first heard esports years and years ago. There's no way a company will let a single release be standardized because they gotta sell more games. Yes, I agree. Which is why generally people always saw fighting games, for example. Most of the time, it would always be a new update, new version, or whatever. And after a while, a new actual game to change mechanics, because it's a game that basically never dies. Unless, like, something in it is actually bad. That's why even something like Third Strike had, or Street Fighter 3 had, like, 3 iterations. They brought back legacy characters, keep people to keep playing. Street Fighter 4 had all those different versions. Street Fighter 5 had all those different versions. So they're kind of ingrained in that kind of cycle. But when it comes to something like Call of Duty and stuff, it's a bit rough. And I also can't see esports being able to retain from something like that either. And the only way that these esports are able to actually stay as esports is if they constantly play the same game, which would be, I think, the very obvious example being Dota and League of Legends, you know? Doing moves is simpler, but the game is complicated and other ways to compensate. Exactly, Cloudy. So I truly believe that 2xKO will be a door to open for people to learn. And it has built-in ways for people to easily get in and learn. But I think it's a 50-50 if it will keep people, because they will get to a plateau and they may not be learning as we expect them to, because they won't have the gratification, in my opinion, that comes from learning complications in execution as much as other games. Because in my opinion, when I started playing fighting games, it was the execution, not winning, that really pushed me forward. And like when I first started playing games, I would purposely join lobbies with people who were like masters and stuff, so I could watch them and practice what I had on them. And I would be like, oh, I got my combo or whatever. Oh, I finally hit this move. And that's what kept me going. So when they take away the execution, it makes me a little worried, because if you don't have that, the only growth comes into the game itself mechanics. And I don't know how far that can carry a person's willingness to go forward, in my opinion, because that's what carried me. I refuse to play the League of Fighting only if I have someone to play it with. I'll consider. I do think that 2xKO is definitely more fun to play with someone. I will admit I like 2xKO. I think it has potential. A lot of my favorite players are developers on this game, so I have a lot of hope for its execution, what it is. My only concern being, again, the baseline of, like, being able to balance it, really? Which they've done a decent job, and it's in its early game, but also its, roster is the other big thing. Like, I don't know how long I can take just playing Yasuo for, like, a year, you know? Because a tag game, in my opinion, is supposed to be experimental, and you find different partners, and you kind of mix it up. Because, in turn, tag games tend to be simplified in the execution nonetheless, for you to have the flexibility to change up your team and stuff. In this game, you don't really do that, because there's so little of a roster. I don't know, there are definitely concerns I have with 2xKO, but the gameplay itself I think is getting there. It needs a lot more fleshing out to do. So I have hopes. We'll see. It's so hard to do this and look at these people doing it. Inspired me to play fighting games, even though it discouraged me when I was younger. I agree. I originally had no idea, like, the depths of fighting games, but once I was shown it, right, like, originally I started with Mortal Kombat and playing some of the older ones with Brother Elska, and I'm just like, I don't, how do you do that? What do you do? You know, how do you do Scorpion Spear or whatever? I'm like, oh, okay. And then it's evolved into me picking up, like, Street Fighter and being like, I did, again, my history is my very first fighting game character that I invested time in and I picked up outside of mashing buttons, like playing, like, Mortal Kombat Armageddon at Brother Elska's house on his Xbox or whatever, was I picked up Chun-Li. And I purposely picked Chun-Li because everybody told me charge characters are hard and they're really hard to learn as your first character. And I went, okay, if I learn the hard character, I will be able to push myself further, right? It doesn't really correlate that way, but that was my thought process when I started playing fighting games. So you have no idea how satisfying it was to finally do like a spinning bird kick in a combo. I went wild, you know? That gratification, man. And I think with the dumbing down, it's definitely gonna be, it's gonna be missing on, like I said, the push to get people to keep playing, in my opinion. I can't see how Evo can make any sense other than a community event. If you ask me, it's too expensive to run, and these little return investment currently. Yes, and with the direction Evo goes, it's also very concerning, and it's making me want to invest more into other tournaments, like say Frosty's, CEO, whatever, because at the very least, especially if you go to something like Frosty's or Combo Breaker, they're a bit more grounded in their community, and it doesn't feel as intrusive. But Evo, man, Evo is definitely a spectacle that is quickly turning into a convention plus tournament instead of tournament with convention aspects. And that's kind of dookie. You know, it used to be a place where you would see the best of the best congregate to one spot. You know, obviously it started out in California before, moved to Vegas. But now it's just all shilling and capital and whatnot, and it does make it hard to want to keep going due to the factor that it feels like the little man is definitely being pushed out. Especially with, again, it being bought. It's definitely taking away from the aspect of, even though you go to watch the best of the best, but you go to meet people, you go to play games, you go to experience this with the people who also love these games, but it's become a spectacle, and half the time when I'm there, even though if I work it, you know, my free time, I want to go around and I want to play. I don't even really get to do that anymore. Because it's just like, the bring your own setup station is 4 tables, and the like extra tournaments are no longer ran under Evo, right? So they're no longer a significant part of what makes its identity. You only get like the big names. So if you want to play like Killer Instinct, you have to hope somebody put it up and will be part of the side tournaments, and it doesn't have backing prizes, no backing technology. It's just entirely based on whoever's willing to bring it to you, and that really sucks. On the other hand, I tried to get good at CSS a long time ago and could never get over the skill gap between me and the guy who's playing CS Office for a literal decade. Berserker, that is true. It goes into even fighting games. That legacy skill into an IP always carries. Even if it is old, or the new one changes up a lot, say like Tekken did, the legacy skill will always carry you for a long time, no matter what. Being a tag fighter might actually filter people harder than if they had traditional inputs. Eki, I agree, but also at the same point, they thought of that with the Juggernaut and Sidekick fuses. Juggernaut completely gets rid of your additional character, and then Sidekick makes it so you can use your character's assist and assist supers, but does not let you play the character. So they thought of literally a stepping ladder in their game's mechanics to get you to the point where you play the real fuse mechanics, which is Double Down, 2x, and Freestyle. So they did think of that. Appreciate that they're working with actual players, but I wouldn't trust a player to be a good developer either, so meh. Well, the good thing is like the people who are developers are still people with history in gaming, right? They still have, like, they're part of both, right? like one of the people on 2XKO was the person who made Evo, right? And then it's like legacy players are the test players, and balancers or whatever, and it's this mesh of people who understand at the very minimum fighting games. And though I see that sentiment of I understand they couldn't be a good developer, but not all of them are specifically making the game in terms of like, oh, they're the ones who like made the kit, right, of some characters or whatever. They could be the people who understood why this move is too powerful or whatever, or how they in concept execute things, you know. It's a teamwork thing still. So it's a give or take, Crumpets, and so far 2XKO, in my opinion, is beating my expectations, especially on the backing of the first, the second or third Alpha Lab, because that one was absolute garbage. I thought the game was going to die after that Alpha Lab. I'm like, Alpha? And it is looking like this? This game is trash. And then they came out with the first, and then they came out with the closed beta, and I went, wow, they really fixed a lot of what people were complaining about. Like, I felt like they listened and actually put in these things. Like, originally, like, I thought so much of it was going to be such a problem, but they made it work, right? They understood, and they listened, and then they tweaked and whatever. And I think the game is not perfect by any means, but I 100% think the game is fun, and that it is still in early access, and they're using it to make sure they get us, the players, as their, basically their testers. It's all about feedback. They have surveys constantly, whatever. You make a post on Twitter adding people, and they will change things, which is interesting. You know, like the shop used to be 2-week reset. Now the shop is 1 week. I think it should not exist as the shop itself, but it means a random thing that you say out loud somewhere on the internet, good chance they'll see it. I know, right, Crumpets? It's crazy. But if they don't, I feel like then the fighting game community itself will completely move away, right? For example, like, they thought, like, Yasuo did too much damage, his combos were too long, people are making fun of the factor that, you know, you can walk away, microwave a burrito, come back, Yasuo's still comboing, whatever, and then your character's dead, touch of death free. By next patch, Yasuo was nerfed in damage and some combo length, but they wanted to keep him still freeform because he was supposed to be, like, the combo execution character. And they did great. And now, instead of him being near the best character in the game, he's up there. But his tools are now actually play-aroundable. Like his S1, which did the sword stab, now has a longer startup, so you can actually read it and jump over it. Same with his wind wall. You can, if he tries to spam it, he can't because it's too much of a startup. So he can maybe get one out, but he has to still play the game. He can't zone you out. Like, they still are listening to these things. Hi, Alex. Do you think Yu-Gi-Oh! Should make a game like ZA with real-time battle system with both the player and their monster moving freely during battles? I don't know how they would, because even in Universe it is a card game. I think that would be neat, but I don't know how they would do that. Yeah, Pokemon fans take notes. Alex, I think that would be cool, because I love Yu-Gi-Oh! I love Yu-Gi-Oh! But I do not know how they would execute it within terms of the universe. Because it is still, even in world, strategy-based, turn-based. So they would have to really put it onto, like, a spin-off kind of thing, where Yu-Gi-Oh! Is no longer a card game and is now a creature collector. Because I generally don't know how they would do that, because it's a strategy game, turn-based strategy game. Based on cards. Yeah. That's my tangent on 2XKO. I've been talking for a while without water. Nom, 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 nom. Show us your custom battle gauntlet. I wish I had one. If I had a dual disc, I would scream. I've always wanted one, man. I want a dual disc so bad. I love the show. I love the show so much. GX is my favorite because it's so bad, it's good kind of thing. And I have like old decks and stuff. And I did play the Master Duel for a while, but it's just like any online card game is just so hard to keep up with because they just expect you to play money, and I'd rather play the physical thing. So I mainly have stuck to the show these days for me to enjoy, and especially because I'm thinking about getting back into Magic, because I really enjoy the deck building aspect of Magic. So. But, yeah, I like card games. In general, I like card games. I do a lot. I wonder if speaking of League of Legends, I wonder if the new League card game's gonna be good. Any good? Oh no, oh no. I specifically will not be touching any sealed product ever. I have told myself only buying singles, and I'll buy them slowly. And I have budget reasons and stuff with my idea with Magic, you know, and especially with Commander. Like, I mainly play Commander, but I'm thinking about playing some other formats because I think all the Universe Beyond stuff is cringe, especially the Spider-Man stuff. Stupid. There's like new formats and stuff popping up that I kind of want to get into because Commander's kind of getting diluted and the base game is getting balanced for Commander, which is kind of dumb because Standard now is dead. It's stupid. It's all stupid. But yeah, I like Commander, so I only need to buy one card anyway. I don't have to be paying $400 for 3 copies of the best card in Standard or whatever. So it's a bit easier to budget. Like, I'm still proud of like one of the first decks I ever made was like $25 total. And that was me getting like a couple of cards that cost like $1. Most of them were under like 50 cents. Do I like deck building games? I do. I just don't always have the time. I wish more of them were like mobile. I know Slay the Spire is, but a lot of them that I have interest in are on Steam, and I wish there were a couple more. I don't mind Slay the Spire, but I played Slay the Spire for a bit, and it's fun, and it's good, and it's like a good time killer, but I just lost interest over some time. Figured they abandoned Standard a long time ago. They're trying to pretend they haven't. They're trying to pretend they have not abandoned Standard. But, for example, of how kind of ruined Standard is, so the newest set, the Spider-Man set, was so bad. So bad. It was not in Standard when it was released and playable at their conventions. It was accessible, usable at, like, MagicCon and stuff. Was already released for like a week. They didn't use Spider-Man. They used Edge of Eternity, which was the one that came before, because Spider-Man sucks. It's not good for Standard. So for draft and stuff, they did that, and the Spider-Man set also sucks so bad. They made a new format, a new draft format, specifically when Spider-Man came out, because nobody wanted to play Spider-Man. They made it a 2-player pick 2 card instead of a 4-player pick 1 card. It's very bad. Only ever really got into Hearthstone, never spent money on it, and gave up after one of the expansions, the one after Halloween, I think, because the game wasn't fun anymore. That's just like, the one thing I hate about these mobile card games, right? Like Arena, Hearthstone, Master Duel, whatever. It also, I agree, it loses its luster after maybe like the first month or two until it gets more packs, content, whatever, because it's just pay more, and you just get digital things, and you get lost and can't keep up with the meta because you are expected to pay. And when you don't, in my opinion, if I don't get the physical card, then I don't really want to play. Which, as much as I hate Pokemon products, I will always give credit where credit is due, and that every Pokemon card pack gives you a pack for the online game. And I hate that nobody else does that. But yeah, I haven't touched Arena, I haven't touched Master Duel, whatever, just no point. There's no point. I've been playing the SNK Card Fighters Clash, and it makes me wish for a fighting card game that isn't a gacha. Yeah, I agree. That's the hard part, is that technically it's always a gacha. Always will be a gacha. It's a card game. It's always gambling. But the digital thing, for no real value, always just pushes me away from playing them digitally. And I always prefer to play them physically, because even then, I want to play the formats I want to play. I want to play the cards I want to play. And arena and things like these online games have their own, you know. You don't get a trade. There's no trading in the trading card game when you play online. There's no trading. I want to be able to trade. Nothing is more fun than going to like a Magic pre-release. You get your box of cards, you play your 3 games or whatever, and then you talk to the people that you played with, and you're like, hey man, that card's really cool. Are you willing to you want to trade? I can put that in my Moldrotha deck. And they go, yeah, you know, they give me it, and I'm like, oh, here's my card that you wanted, that you thought was cool. You're a red player. I'm a green black player, whatever. Like, I want to trade in my trading card game. I don't want them slabbed. I don't want them graded. I don't want them hiding in a binder. I want to play my cards. I want to play my cardboard. It makes me upset. Now it's time to try out Brave Frontier versus they recently released a TCG cash grab on a decade-old game. And 3-year dead gacha game. The first gacha game I've ever played. Woo! Nami! I hope you don't lose all your money and it crashes and dies within 6 months. Yeah, it will be interesting to see how the League of Legends card game goes, because that's coming out soon. I knew a bunch of people who are in a toxic love-hate relationship with Hearthstone. It usually ends up being that way. I'm a 12-year free-to-play gacha addict. The dedication is real from Unami, and I admire that. Power creep was my main issue in banning and nerfing basic cards because they were too situational, useful compared to the next new expansion. That power creep will always be a problem in card games, which is why, again, the most popular format was always, was Commander, for example, in Magic the Gathering, because they have, a power system, right? They have a power system in which you can say, oh, my deck is on a power scale 2, right? And somebody will be like, oh, mine's a 5. And you'll be like, okay, well, I'll go play with this other guy because his is a 3, and that feels more compatible than a 5, right? 5 means he's gonna win in 3-4 turns. A 2 or a 3 means 6-7 turns, right? So the community aspect and the lack of a ban list was why people played Commander, as well as the deck building and identity aspect was what was so important in it. And now Wizards has their grubby hands on it. And Commander itself is becoming diluted with power creep and cards made specifically for Commander, because they have it now, and it's been the largest format for so long. So now people are even starting to leave Commander to go into a new format, which I don't remember the name of it, but it's starting to pop off a lot, because it's a new format that is not run by Wizards. And I think it has it's like something, it's a new form of Modern. Because it goes up to a specific point, and it gets rid of Universe Beyond cards and stuff, and it's basically identity that people want from Magic. I don't think it's neat though, as someone who doesn't card game. Well, in my opinion, don't play anything you don't like. Don't feel like you're forced to play anything just because it's like an IP or something, right? Non-fungible card trading. Well, credit where credit is due if you could card trade. Do. Oh, you do. Oh, my bad, my bad. Yeah, sorry. It's getting to that point where I'm gonna wrap up here shortly. My brain's fried. The whole point of the basics was that it was always available until it was more useful than what they wanted to add an expansion. Then always available. One got nerfed. It was all, yeah. It's just that loop. It's always that loop. Especially with online games, right? If they have no physical counterpart, it's always like it starts to be power creep, and then it's like, oh, we need something to counter this, and then we make a new thing to counter that, and to counter that, and then we make a new thing trying to get out of that, and then it's like too strong, so now people do that, and then you have to make a counter for that, and a counter for that. It's like an endless Ouroboros. But yes, I need a nap, and I'm hungry, so I'm gonna wrap up here, guys. We're on for a bit. But I love being able to blabber about my opinions. So thanks for enjoying my opinions. And I hope you guys have a good time today and had a good time doing whatever, and the rest of your night is a hot diggity dog. So thank you to Matt, Nami, Berserker, Exis, Frederick, Cloudy, Beans. We got Beans. Yeah, Berserker, Alex, Crumpets, Massive Legend, say Eki, Ezekiel, Nightmare, Exis, who else? Tyler was here, right? Hatred said hello. Raymond, Lazuli, Nami, did I say Nami yet? Panda, probably one more I'm forgetting. I like to see your opinions because it aligns with mine, the correct ones. We will continue to be the perfect echo chamber, Crumpet. Yeah, okay, I was right. We did see Tyler. Matt, Cloudy. Anyone else I might have missed? I can say, Nami, you're so cool. Thanks for hanging out. Don't forget me. I did not, Raymond. You know I always appreciate you. Alright, but I will head out. I need some water and a nap. So I appreciate you guys very much, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye, Fun Event, and have a good day, night, wherever you may be. Bye. You're real epic. Thank you. I'm cool sometimes, kids. I'm cool with the kids. Where's my skateboard? Nami, am I cool enough to have your real epic be spelt in gamer? Right? Can I have like a 3s for E's? I'm just joking. Unless. Crumpets, you're stuck here forever! All of you. At least I'll award you, Nami, with a you tried star. You know, you did your best, and I'm proud of you. I'm still proud of you. I'm always proud of you. You're doing great. You're doing great. Keep up the good work.